we got actual game in progress.
Game in progress. Here we go. Still 0-0. Everybody, welcome. If you haven't heard anything, Gerry Tansey will be joining me. He just won that incredible match. And this is Roberto Litzenberger versus Kaveh Farahani. Both are rated M1 players. And they're playing a 13-point match here, round 2. Take it away, Gerry. We'll talk more when there's less going on.
And let's see. Looks like, at least from the screen that I have, Kaveh's on roll. They might be frozen again.
Yeah, I am also seeing a frozen screen again.
This is not a position you would think about doubling.
Yeah. We're just gonna show random screenshots of the match, and then you can decide what you would have done for that one random moment. I'm gonna let Tournament Central know it's still frozen. Nope. Yeah, it looks like
there's a match is over. Return to the lobby. So
it looks like the thought is that Kaveh might be having some internet troubles, which would lead to this. I'm gonna check with Tournament Central.
That could happen. Might have to exit and restart.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Kaveh's no longer in Heroes, so that could be he just dropped out. Our match is frozen, so we don't know what's up. But we're all here together, and that's what matters. Backgammon players from all over. We have lots of players joining us in the chat from Iran. We have lots of players joining us from the USA and from all over the place. Let's see. James Painter has wished Roberto some good luck. Matthew Reed Patterson, who we said before is still right on by saying this is great commentary. Thank you. Todd Obadal says we hear you. What's up, Todd? Alex can hear us. Looks like everybody can hear us. And Matthew Reed also loved Kara's commentary. Kara was wonderful. She was so sweet and nice to do commentary with, very insightful. And she will be with you in London.
That's true. That's going to be a great time. We have very strong teams for both the world team and the women's team, and Kara is a tremendously strong player. Everybody going is just fun people and very very strong group of players, and I'm excited to see how we all do.
For those of you in the chat wondering, a couple people asking about the game sound. Yes, the game sound has been, I am told, drastically reduced. It will still be there in the background, as is the administrative decision, but it will be lowered significantly. So hopefully that will no longer be a factor.
Bit of internet issues today, but that happens sometimes.
It does happen. Big Sir Lance, hello, Big Sir Lance, and Linda Colorado. Welcome, Linda Colorado. Here we go. I am getting word from Tournament Central. Let's see. We will need to rejoin, it says. And Kaveh is not on the line, so yeah, that's been confirmed.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone's patience. I'm so happy that we're able to just play this match generally, because the Iranian team, I'm sure you guys have mentioned it, but they might be the strongest backgammon nation in the world. If they're not, they're certainly in the conversation, and they seem to be producing new, strong, young players constantly. So, it's nice to be able to be tested in preparation for going to the World Team Championship.
Sorry, I'm just turning my video off really quickly. Yes, Cara was saying she has heard that they might be a nation with the most grandmasters
that might very well be true.
And,
All right.
and yeah, they won the team challenge last year with a perfect score of 11-11, if I looked that up correctly.
Yeah.
11 for 11.
And it should surprise no one at this point.
Yeah.
Looks like we got some action.
All right, let's resume the action. Here we go.
And this double three is trying to figure out a way to play this. Kaveh's got to be a little worried about Roberto attacking him next roll. So that's kind of why he's looking at these shifting plays. It's a tough decision. It's like you kind of don't want to ruin your structure, but you don't want to let him go. And he decides ultimately to go for a purer structure, but give Roberto his full row, and this double four is
that's massive.
Pop out.
Wow.
Big swing on that, because if he did find a way to put him in the air, it would have been a fan. And Roberto, not convinced of the hopping out, because he can play it this way too. He can make the big board and do that. But I think his plan is, if you don't roll a 6, Kaveh, I'm going to double you out. Kaveh does roll a 6. Gets out trying to determine what to do with this ace. This is 2s and 7s, and Roberto rolls 6-4. Doesn't hit, but it is 10 pips in what is going to be a racing position most likely after this. He decides to play 6-2 with the 4. I might have played 7-3, just kind of giving up on keeping everything, really play for the race a bit more. But double 2s, Kaveh, he would kind of wants to keep contact, but it can be dangerous that he's just going to run. Now Roberto, and Roberto, I think, can afford to just bring guys in from there, because this contact is minimal. You just play for the race at this point.
Any benefit just stepping up to the 15 point with those double ones, or it doesn't really matter?
But at that point, Roberto's a little behind, so it probably doesn't matter too much. But the real plan is just to roll double 5s like you did, and now
we're done.
Roberto's going to have a very strong double, and it looks like that's too many pips to take. 12 pips is a little bit too much. Probably can take that if you're down 10 pips, if you're Kaveh. So,
all right, 1-0. Moving on.
And Roberto's building with the 4-3. Kaveh with the 6-4 goes beyond all the mess. And Roberto gets a point out of it with the 6-4. 4-1. Probably just gotta play that block to the 9 point. Now that he's escaped the checker, that's his plan. Roberto's gonna block him in with that 6-1. And choice for Kaveh, and he's gonna run. He sees the walls closing in on. The other point, he can make the 4 point, which it's a tough choice. If you get hit now, what you do, you have nothing.
Countries.
Okay.
And we're back.
We've got this back. And it was a fan from Kaveh, and Roberto plays on as too good here. And I think I agree with that decision. And he's hit with loose with the 5, deciding what to do with the 6, just decides to bring the builder in. Now, interesting choice for Roberto here. You can just cube, yeah, now that he got hit. And I'm not sure I would want to take this.
That looks
Seems
dangerous.
like there's a lot of gammons there, so 2-0.
2-0, jumping ahead. Yeah, we were saying earlier that obviously online matches, people tend to play more quickly, so it's very much bang, 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 boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And in fact, you were telling me you kind of purposefully slowed down for the last one a little bit.
Yeah, I tried to slow down. I don't know how much I did that because I will say, even though we can see the pip counts, the players cannot. That is turned off for this.
Really?
Yeah. So
you couldn't see the pip count when you were playing.
Yeah, like So this is actually a good way to do it. That's another way to slow yourself down, is to, if you want to get the pip count, make sure you're counting the pips. But good start here for Kaveh finally. Getting a good front position. Just looking at this. Question is, if this goes well, if he hits, Roberto usually is just going to enter. So a hit followed by an enter, does that lose the market? Probably not. Roberto's probably still taking. So probably not. The glued back checkers are
Hello, looks like the players are still out. Oh, no, players are in. There we go.
All right. He does give the double. Roberto takes. I think it's a pretty clear take. And sometimes they miss. So, so he decides to go with the... I think I like this to get the back checkers moving. The 11 point isn't doing much, and the glued back checkers probably need to go. Yeah, this is good. I think it's a good play. Gets punished severely. My goodness.
But yeah, you were saying once your opponent starts moving and getting advanced stackers or escaping, you kind of have to do something with the checkers in the back.
Exactly. Now Roberto's just going to hit loose with this 6-5, I think. Yeah.
Now, why that and not making the 8 point?
I think you're just taking advantage of your better board, so that there's pretty big upside if he fans or comes in awkwardly. It also keeps your opponent from improving on his shake. I think there's just more upside to it. This double 4 is interesting. So Roberto's in the same position as Kaveh was sort of in the last game of, you can play it nice and pretty, but then your opponent gets to roll. Well, actually, he's required to leave shots anyway, right? So there's no safe way to play this. So you probably need to do some form of putting him on the roof. And this seems sensible to me. Good roll for Kaveh that completes a 5' and makes the anchor. So now Roberto's the one scrambling. 6 is clear to cover, but then the 5, it's a tough choice here because you don't really want to give up the 9 and put a dilly builder on the 4, but 13 to 8 is a direct shot. I think I like Roberto's play. It does get hit though.
I guess the upside is huge for that. If he misses, would be the reason
Right.
for that. Yeah.
Get more builders. Exchange of hits.
Oof, back and forth.
Now, Roberto's going to run out of ammo before Kaveh. Oh, look at this shot, though.
Big roll.
That's huge for Roberto to be able to get out. He's still in trouble. It's still a solid 5 prime there. Kaveh's just going to take the anchor and sit on it. Michi sort of calls this 13 plus 2. Like, you anchor with 2 checkers and then use your other 13 to build your front position. And so Kaveh is very comfortable here.
Forward point or double tiger? Would you even consider the double tiger there?
That's an interesting question. I would certainly think about it. What is my plan here?
Or this?
This is an option too. I think I don't like making the 4 point because it gives them a way out. Although, and even a 2 Roberto would take. This is all right. I kind of like this. He's saying, I got a prime. You're not at the edge of it. Let's see you do everything. Roberto's going to try. But already you can see the problems.
Sure. I guess the goal here to kind of gain some time, keeping them dancing while you can get your back checkers out. He's running out of time, yeah?
Blitz to escape.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Roberto can't get to the edge of the prime, and Kaveh's in great shape now. Roberto desperately wants to make any anchor. Just has the ace to play here. He steps up to the edge, and Kaveh can't hit him cleanly off the edge. So one choice is to do that. You can try to attack him, like make the ace point, and see if the blitz goes. Oh, huge roll for Roberto.
Wow, that's what he needed. And he's in double 6 destruction position now.
and Kaveh doesn't want to lose. Yeah, he wants to. The reason he played that 6 that way is he wants to keep that straggler in case in case Roberto goes with a 6. He wants to pick things up, trap him with the anchor. And he's going to start to make some points behind that anchor, still trying to keep that straggler there. The trouble with a play like this is when Roberto does go, it makes it a little harder to make the 4 point on the guy's head. All right, Roberto down to a 3 point board. Now you're not going to make trap plays that leave blots to hit, but you're, down to a 3 point board, you start feeling a little better about your ability to survive. And, if you have to attack and have a blot hitting contest, Roberto's forced to go. And this is a great shot with this 5-4. He can hit the outside checker.
Oof.
Oh, Roberto. Wow.
Now, is there a recube coming, or he needs to get out first?
Oh, he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, let's see. Oh, Roberto's forced to get out with that. And now I think Kaveh's just going to blitz. One five, actually not bad from Roberto. Anything that gets in is pretty good.
Ooh, can't cover.
Probably needs to hit loose on the ace point because he really doesn't want Roberto to safe that checker. Gammons pay double here, so I think he plays that pretty loose, but it might be all right because there's not that many numbers that hit 2. 6-2.
Both players are hanging on by their fingernails here. Like it just could go either way. Roberto gets out. It's great. But if Kaveh covers, it's great for him.
Oh, amazing. You know, there's going to be. I think he's got a choice here. I mean, if you really didn't want to get gammon, you could do that. But I think you got to try for the win. Yeah, this is the way you try to win. And if Kaveh rolls one of his 9 fanning numbers, oof.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I haven't counted shots, but if you come into the 4 point, could it be there's even fewer shots, or is that just a ridiculous proposition? I guess not with the outfield checker.
It's an interesting thought. The trouble with that play is then you do still have to escape and handle the blot later, like say if he fans or something like that. Interesting play here for Roberto. Let's see. So he got in. Yeah, he's forced to use the 4 to come in, and then he's trying to find things to duplicate. He's able to duplicate 3s. And Kaveh is saying, I'm going to hit you. Can you fan for me once?
Yeah.
Just once. This gives Roberto an amazing double 4. Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. Tough to know. It's tough to know, you know, a lot of times you don't want to guard against your opponent's jokers because it's only one number, but sometimes when they're so good, you do. This doesn't cover, doesn't hit. Does bring wood around.
Both players staring at the 4 point. That's crazy. Oh, there it is. And a direct shot.
Oh, it's a fan. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
2 on the roof now. And, oh, wow, this is a decision. This is a decision for Roberto. He's decided, you know, I only get out half the time. So a little over half the time. So maybe not. 3 point board. And this is a good recovery from Kaveh to get in. Unfortunately, the other 2 5s are a little inconvenient.
See, I'm wondering, my crazy brain, do you even do this? Yeah, and give him the 6, and if he hits, you recirculate kind of thing, or is that just insanity?
It's something to think about. I mean, because you've identified the problem is that he's having trouble keeping outfield coverage with this double 5s. He either has to play super safe like this, but then when Roberto runs out, he only gets a single shot. And when he doesn't come out, you know, it's only 4s and 3s to hit, and he has to break the structure. No, you might be onto something there with that play. I don't think it's crazy at all.
Yeah, that's the kind of play I make if I'm in a Chouette and I'm the box and I don't have to talk to anybody or listen to anybody. And I go, yeah, the hell with it. I'm going to do this.
There's no risk-free way of playing the position. I think psychologically we think getting hit is riskier, but playing it super safe is also pretty risky if he comes out. If Roberto comes out and he's played safe, He's only going to get a single direct shot, and if he misses that, he loses the game. So I think I like this play. And he's going to get rewarded, I think. This is this is sort of
big roll.
The loophole is like, well, you hit him, but you had to do this, and then wow.
Oh, now it's just getting brutal and bloody. Who's going to come out on top?
All right, finally, Kaveh's like, what did I have to do to finally make that point?
Looks like Kaveh has closed the 6 prime. Wow. That was a crazy, crazy exchange for many rolls there.
And he's going to try a little fishing. 1-2 would be an immediate terrible number for Roberto from the roof. There it is. And there's, wow. Picks up 2 checkers. So now Kaveh is going to be probably over 40% to win a gammon here. Well, that will depend on how he gets those spares in. That's not bad. Gets to take at least 1 off without opening the board. He gets to take, this is a mixed bag. Let's see if Roberto can come in. Oh, he cannot.
Ooh, gammon dangers are real now?
Yeah.
Zena in the chat. Hello, Zena. Zena's Iranian. She's rooting for them, but she also has great respect for the USA team as well.
Oh, I just love this event that where it's just solid backgammon, great people who love the game.
Oh, it needs big numbers. That'll get 1, and that could do it. He needed that.
Let's see if.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh, at the crucial, exciting moment.
Right where we were going to see. Okay, there we go. We're back. The gammon did not happen.
Okay, 2-2.
All right.
Bernhard, welcome to the chat. Hello, everybody. Please like, subscribe. Welcome.
Roberto with this early double 3s. Oh, great answer from Kaveh. Getting the anchor.
It's funny. Thank you for the comment. That's awesome. Thank you. Welcome, James.
And Kaveh, I think, is going to use. It's an interesting question on this. How to use the double 3s. The making the 10 point seems obvious, and then he's just going to try to extricate a little from Roberto's front structure. Race is close enough that you should do that, I think.
That's good. For moments like that with the double 3s, when you have the opposite step of the team, that's happened to me a few times, and I know I'm behind in the race. But I want to step up to the 18, but I'm behind. Is there a way, some kind of magic formula to figure that out?
I wish I could give you something, but for me, it's kind of just vibes. Like what gets me more contact, and is it contact that I want? But yeah, like you'll be wrong sometimes and right sometimes. There's just not an easy way to describe it. And I don't get them all right either. Interesting choice for Kaveh here with his double 6s. Do you want to keep the midpoint or not? The race being up a little bit after the roll would say maybe we don't with the contact, but Roberto's got a problem on his 16 point of clearing that. Ultimately, he says, I'm going to reduce the contact. 3-2 for Roberto. I suspect Roberto will want to save sixes. So yeah, he's going to slot 2 points in the board. Great roll for Kaveh. So 20 pips after the roll. And it'll be 11 pips on roll. So this is a perfect spot to double in what is basically a straight race. And it's Roberto that will have the decision. I think he would have a take here.
Is this just straight up 8-10-12 rule, 12%, kind of borderline take here? Or...
Yeah, whatever your favorite racing formula is. Yeah, I'm kind of using Trice where I'm like, take 10%, round up, add 1, and that's the biggest deficit that you can take with. You worry a little bit about distribution. There's a little bit of contact, but it's marginal. So basically, Roberto would be at the point of last take. And he does take. And after this sequence, he regrets it, but still some game left.
As often the case, I take, I drop.
Yep. Well, that's what we're going for. We're trying to find the last moment.
Yeah.
And you'll take it.
Blue. No, yellow.
And can I use... Certainly the ace is going to make the, fill in the 5 and just brings in.
Boo Boo is in the chat. Hi, Odd. Boo Boo from France. She has taken the French tournament circuit by storm and is a new force to be reckoned with in Europe. Greetings to you.
So, Roberto looking for big matching numbers. And
it's a tight match so far. Lots to go. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This is the obviously USA versus Iran friendly warm-up match. We have the World Team Championships coming up next month in London. Hope you can be there. Hope you can watch it. Gerry, you will be there, certainly.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who don't know already, I've said it a couple of times, this will be your first world event at Monte Carlo World Championship. We are all excited to see you there.
Looking forward to it.
Is there any fun little story about how you got convinced to go?
Well, I didn't have my passport, and a friend of mine, Mark Flannery, for Christmas, he gave me a passport wallet. And so that said, okay, I got to get the passport.
I like
kind of
that.
put psychological pressure on me to do it. But Kaveh held on there. Roberto made it very close in the end, but held on to that.
Now, I noticed they both did the 6-4 2-point, and then you follow up 6-4. You also have to make the 2-point. Is there a way that generally changes your strategy? Because I know making the 2-point right off the bat, it gets a little weird.
Yeah, you tend to I tend to make the 2-point when I'm trailing in the match, although it's basically a fine play even at an even score. But yeah, then once your opponent makes the 2-point, you're loath to split in those structures because he's got a blitzing structure. So with that 6-4, usually you just have to make the 2-point yourself, whether you like it or not.
Albert Steg wrote a great article about third roll complexes for making the 2-point with 6-4, and just pointing out how if you're not careful, it could lead to some blunders if you just start going on autopilot. And like bringing down checkers from your midpoint to start priming them in, but you're not supposed to be priming them in. And it becomes, please stop me if I'm wrong, like it becomes this thing on one side of the board, you're kind of blitzing, and on the other side of the board, you're just running and you have no real interest in anything in the middle.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that can that can happen. Yeah, I also, after your initial 6-4 making the point, all of a sudden, you kind of want to get the back checkers a little moving. You're right. That, unless your opponent is giving you targets, you can't. Harder to improve up front. Kaveh's considering whether to leave a direct shot and make the 10-point, or you play it kind of a vanilla safe play here. Personally, I think the 10-point is doing some good work here, and so it seems pretty valuable. It's tough for Roberto to really punish that play too much.
Oh, he would have punished it.
That would have punished it a lot. Not as much as double ones would have, but I
think Kaveh's patting himself on the back right now.
Yeah. Roberto will still attack this, mainly because there's not much else to do. Like, you'd like to maybe just make the 4-point thing. You got no ace. 2-1, all right. That can make the 4-point. You could make the 4 and the 5, but I don't think that's right. This looks right. The made 11-point goes well with the empty 5-point. Like, it's good that's often a good structure to make. Aiming those builders there. And Kaveh decides, that back checker just has to get out. There's a principle called Pottle's Law, named for Sam Pottle. It says, always run the back checker. Always run the last back checker.
I like hearing that, because I was about to ask about that. Sometimes that is that situation where you're ahead in the race, you want to race, but still you're kind of back there on the ace point with nothing really to attack you. It's almost like a false sense of security, and it's so hard to jump out into the attack.
And this is the downside of all that, is Roberto is looking at this, licking his chops, saying, I'm going to double this. I'm threatening to make the 5-point. And if I do that, you're not going to be interested in this game anymore.
Is this at any match score, you think, or is this I'm behind a little in the match and want to get aggressive cube?
Certainly you're more likely to send it there, but I think this is probably a cube at an even score too, and that has worked out beautifully.
Yeah.
So far, anyway.
I noticed sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying Roberto's obviously moving the back checkers first thing. Is that kind of the priority in this situation, as opposed to coming down and closing out your opponent first? Or it depends on the distribution and stuff like that?
I think it depends on the specific position. I think Roberto, a lot of times it depends on how good your opponent's structure is up front. You definitely don't want to be in a spot where you're out of time up front and you haven't moved any of your back checkers. I think Roberto had a little bit of a lead in the race, but if he was down in the race, maybe you build the prime first, build the full 6 prime, and then handle the back checkers. like the more work you have to do to bring things around, the harder your checkers up front have to work to keep the structure to give you time to do that.
Well, it certainly turned into, at the moment, a profitable double.
Yeah, and this was always these gammons were always in the picture, right? It's because potential gammons, because all of a sudden, if you do end up closing out one checker, you have pretty good gammon chances. Kaveh has rolled a pretty good double 4 to get some crossovers.
Wow, assuming he gets off the gammon, we have yet again a tie game shaping up to be legendary. Maybe Iran had a team meeting after you kind of ran away with the first one, and they said, all right, that ain't happening again.
Well, yeah, the team meeting would have consisted of just roll better. Idris was playing amazing, better than me. So
yeah, he played under a 2 PR. I think if I saw that right.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Roberto's going to have 5 numbers here. 2s or through 6s. So they can't do it.
All tied up. Round 2, Iran versus USA. Neck and neck, Roberto Litzenberger. Kaveh Farahani.
And standard play is to hit with this 3 and bring down the deuce from the midpoint. At least that's what the bot likes. It doesn't like the double hit.
What about the single hit?
Was that double 3s, which would have plays well no matter how you played that, I guess.
Thank you, Lo. Welcome to the chat. Scotty Kellen coming in to us from the middle of the ocean. What's up, Scotty?
Oh, wow. Roberto has rolled a ton of pips here with his double 6s. Just has that one man back. Can't do much about that. Interesting choice for Kaveh here. He's going to try to run it out. And Roberto doesn't hit, but he will move up the back checker and solidify his board. Interesting choice here for Kaveh. He's going to play safe. Now Roberto is up 19 pips before that roll. That might be a double. Now he's not. I was going to say he's glad he didn't double after the hit, but after that double 5s. The reason why it's probably a double before that is market losing sequences would be something like running out of the outfield and getting missed.
Like that.
Yeah. So
it's going to be 5-4, looks like.
Yep. Pretty clear pass here. Maybe you Hollywood this and remember the players cannot see the pip count. We can see it. They don't have it. So he's probably counting this and he'll come to the conclusion that he can't take.
Yeah, that will definitely change it. Also, Michael Schlein, Lynn Brady, thanks for watching us. They are joining. They're watching from bed. So backgammon can be a romantic thing. Yeah, so not seeing the pip count. That's kind of takes the fun out of it. That's like going to a party with no music.
Yeah, you do have to spend a little bit of mental energy, but this is a good start for Kaveh. Early double sixes, and so double sixes plus a net improvement is generally an initial double, and whether it's a take or not depends on the position. But I think Kaveh's got a double here with the 3-point made as well.
If Roberto had this 5-point made, could he consider taking this, or it's kind of a, I don't know, is it a take?
You might still be able to take this. He doesn't like having his deuce point made, I don't think, but I think he still probably has to take that. Kaveh does not double here. He plays this pretty big.
Ooh.
Looks like he might get rewarded. Roberto rolls double twos, which is fine, except it doesn't touch the back checkers. And now this might have been Kaveh's strategy all along. Give a much tougher double. Roberto's going to take this. The threat really is Kaveh makes the 5-point.
It's a lot of blots.
And then Roberto starts cracking, maybe.
See, I'd be tempted to safety up here. I don't know. Was that like this play? Or is the 5-point, and that's the way it is?
Yeah, I like the 5-point here because it's hard. Like, even if you're hit, there's lots of blots that can happen. Roberto's not thrilled about this at all, and this is what Kaveh dreamed of when he gave that double. I've got a prime. Roberto
is behind it,
falling apart. Might just have to make the ace point here. There's a school of this is one option. Next turn, though, sixes become an adventure. Another option is to just clear the midpoint, leave twos now.
What's the advantage of that? Just not giving it later when he has a
right
prime.
Saying if you don't hit me now, you're never going to hit me. That's what Roberto decides to do, and you know. You're basically kind of giving up on winning going forward with this play, but I don't know that you have a lot of forward going chances anyway. So you just go ahead and do that.
By the way, Mo is also in the chat. Mo is now my favorite person. He gave us an excellent compliment on the commentary. Thank you, Mo.
Awesome. We love to hear that feedback. And Kaveh is saying, you know, should I stay for a little more contact or no? And he's like, okay, I'm going to not stay. He can make the 2 points with this double fours. Get that made and not have to worry about it. Roberto's sixes are killed, so he doesn't have to play any of them right now. And
back and forth slugfest. Okay, my brain goes clear the 7, but is that too risky at this point? Not time yet?
That's interesting.
Just sixes
the,
or two.
The trouble with clearing the 7 is I think you would have to leave an outfield blot to do it.
I imagine he also wants Roberto to crunch a little bit, maybe.
He'd like that, but looks like it's not happening so much. I think if he could have cleared the 7 without leaving an outfield blot, it might have been right to do it. Okay.
Roberto's going to be scrambling to save the gammon. Oh, that's going to make it interesting.
That's a shot. Interesting spot here.
Looking for the... Nope, not looking. Yeah, still looking for it. For the little one.
I'm not sure what I do here.
Oh, the famous one, 6.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
The other famous double 6.
What a swing. Another shot. This time he's going to make the ace point, say, this is your last chance, Roberto.
Wow.
And Kaveh looking gammonish here. He'll peel the 6, and then he's just going to play that deuce there to not leave a shot on. Oh, wow.
Oof.
Roberto's got to go to the whip.
Wants that gammon. Getting that gammon.
It's gin.
Yeah, got that gammon. Big game. Wow, 5 away, 8 away.
Another good start for Kaveh here, making the 4 and the 11 with the double 2s. And Roberto will take the 22 point and just play 13-7 just to have an anchor. And it works out well when you're missed. Now, he can't attack with that number, but he does get the bar point out of it. And Kaveh will say, thank you very much. I'm taking the 21-point anchor. Heave a sigh of relief. Now it's going to be very hard, hard for Kaveh to lose a gammon, which is always kind of what you're afraid of when you're got a little bit of a lead in the match. Because if the gammons start creeping in, then those early cubes start creeping in, and that's something you don't want to see. Roberto makes his 5 points. He's all set up front, and so is Kaveh. He's got a 5 point as well. Yeah, not much to do but play that 3-1 safely behind. Neither one of these players is going to want to leave any shots. Interesting choice here, and so Roberto's up 9 pips, and that 22-point anchor is the one you're most likely to want to break. He says, there's no future in it for me. The downside is you can get attacked, and he does hit loose with the 3. The question is what to do with this deuce. 11-9 would create another builder, but it can get hit twice. This is a poor shake for Roberto. At least it enters. Does expose another blot. But the 5s are duplicated to hit and cover. Kaveh's pause here. I think if the scores were reversed, I would send this cube.
I was about to ask about the score.
But I think at the score, just that 4 prime for Roberto is still harder to deal with than you think. And by the way, Kaveh's down in the race, so
this is an ugly roll. You can't even safety.
Might just hit loose. Yeah, this might be the play.
Wow. What about 5-3-5-1? Is that a thing, like playing safe there?
The trouble with that play is, it's always something to be considered. And sometimes ugly plays like that are right just because getting hit is so terrible. But I think Kaveh is going to need his structure to do some work because Roberto's got structure. Like, he's going to need to bring those checkers around from the back. So I think it's probably structurally too much of a compromise.
That would explain a lot of my 300 error checker plays.
But yeah, no, you'd be surprised how often it's right. Wow. Well,
big
gets
roll.
Punished for this. Or does he?
Let's see. Could this
No.
seems to me Cubish? No, or not yet.
It's a thought trailing in the match to do it, but he's glad he didn't.
Wow, what a swing!
This feels like it's too good.
I blinked. I literally blinked, and everything flipped.
Backgammon moves fast, man.
It's like ice hockey. You can't blink.
Now 3 on the bar, and probably got to bring one out. Yeah, there you go. Going to hit with only things that are legal. Yes. Going to deny that anchor. Can't cover it, but he can move a checker out. Probably good to jump that 4 prime. He pauses here because he's like, oh no, double 4s could be very bad for me. So it could be that's why he made the 2 that way. He saw very bad double 4s.
Well, that's okay right to look at. Yeah, once you get to that level, you're looking at those little small rolls that can ruin your day.
Right, and typically it's the type of thing you worry about when there's nothing else to worry about. Otherwise, you don't typically want to base your game around avoiding a 35-1 shot because there's usually more important things to do.
Right.
But if that's the one thing that absolutely kills you, yeah, you worry about it.
Sense. That's how I piss people off when I'm playing in the park and they have 3 on the roof and they see me contemplating and thinking and they're like, "What are you doing? I got 3 on there." I'll start getting all upset. I have to explain I'm trying not to mess this up.
Interesting choice here. You can hit loose with this 4, but that means you're not up at the edge of the prime. But it would be putting a 3rd man on the roof, So how much risk is there really? I don't know. That's a tough decision.
Now, Cara Schultz had a saying, I might butcher this a little bit, but it was a little British, and it was something like, "You don't want to let him anchor, you wanker." I could be misquoting that. It's something like that.
I do like that.
Yes.
People, it's almost like people are overly afraid of getting hit, but they're not afraid enough of having their opponent anchor. When your opponent anchors, they win more games and you don't win as many gammons. Like, those are 2 very bad things. So don't let them happen.
Back and forth. Ooh. Now, what point
Roberto is desperately looking to anchor on his ace point.
Yep.
This is double 4s, the aforementioned double 4s. There's a choice in how to play it. He decides to keep the prime. He could have shifted off the 5 point, but that might have been because there's enough work to do with the back checker being extracted. He decides to keep the structure. Everything's okay now.
Yeah, I was about to ask at what point, as Kaveh, do you start worrying about getting your back checker out, but then through the 2 immediately afterwards, and was fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
This double 4 is a little awkward.
Yeah, he's going to have some bad numbers next throw, huh?
Can't really avoid the bad numbers. Might just have to take the 2 checkers off the 4, maybe. This is tough. Tough choices. It was either that or leave an odd number of checkers on that 5 point.
Oh, here it is. Game swinging roll coming up.
And that's a decision too.
Oof, dances. One more? No more.
And he decides to not blood on his big doubles there with that ace there.
Oh, another
Wow.
chance.
Roberto's getting the shots.
Another chance. No dice. Wow.
Roberto plays for the double ones and he gets the double ones.
This game is insane. Misses it again. Wow.
Now he probably has to leave the anchor to avoid getting backgammoned.
But he's giving up the next double one. Or is he? 1, 2? No, he is. He's hanging on for the double one.
Yeah. Okay, he got off the backgammon. Backgammon would have been quite valuable for Kaveh to get 2 away. As it stands now, he will get to 3 away, which is always an awkward little score.
Yeah. 3 away, a lot away. So how aggressive is Roberto right now with the cube?
Well, if he managed to get to a position where he gets some gammons involved, just spike the gammons a little bit above what you get on the opening position, and spike your wins a little bit, then you probably just send it. Not looking so promising for that. Although a lot will depend on this next roll. Kaveh is just playing a running game. That's what he wants to do. It's got a good structure. He decides to grab the anchor. Probably the right idea, since the race is even. And gets the anchor and plays safe. That's usually what you do once you get that advanced anchor. Roberto probably going to see daylight with this ace and then play it to 4. He decides to stay back, not getting hit on the point that Kaveh most wants to make. He's going to get pointed on anyway. At this score, Kaveh really shouldn't be thinking about doubling. This might be something you think about at an even score, whether you do it or not is or if you were behind. But this score, thing that makes this position scary for Kaveh would have been gammon wins, but Roberto, if you cube Roberto can re-whip the 4, and then your gammon wins don't mean anything. So, and now Roberto has obtained full freedom. The race is still very close. Now, Roberto's not going to be in much of a hurry, not in an especially big hurry to double a non-gammonish position like this. They'll probably, you can maybe send it a little earlier since you are at an even away score. It'd be nice to get to 6 away, but mostly it's going to behave like money.
How many pips does he need to be up now? Oh, never mind. This just happens all the time.
With the bar point made, I would treat it mostly like a normal race. Like if it was a straight race, I'd probably still, double that. Maybe I can be a little early at the score, but not much.
I just realized backgammon should change. We should change the name of backgammon to Never Mind.
Yep.
That should I'm winning. No, never mind.
You got to adjust your game plan quickly with the dice. Choice for Kaveh whether to save a 6 there. Decides not to because the race is so close. Going to save a 5 here. Ooh, Roberto just got to go.
Gotta go.
The
Once
way
again, up to the dice gods.
yeah, Roberto. Well,
Never
that's
mind.
another one of my maxims. Nothing matters. Didn't matter how you played that. Although Roberto recovered with a double 4 of his own, so
Yeah, good comeback. It's like first big roll gets the double. Maybe they're looking for the slight edge to get the double take.
oh, there's double 4.
There it is. And there it isn't.
Okay, so
And there it is.
Roberto is basically in a 4-roll position. And Kaveh is in also sort of a 4-roll position. Looks kind of cheesy. I mean, it's going to take at least 4 rolls if he doesn't roll a double.
Is this where match score comes into play? Because it seems kind of like a borderline drop, but maybe you could take it, but you don't want your opponent to get to 6 away. You'd much rather have him at 7 away. Is that a thing at this score?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that too. Like, you never get to recube really if you take this as the leader. So probably let it go a little earlier than usual, but yeah, it didn't seem like that was quite takeable for money, so probably a drop there.
BOA 7 away. I just learned that Team Iran has an 18-year-old on their team.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. We've got new blood coming into backgammon. It's great.
You know, I always kind of thought that if with all the computers and things like, oh, well, Roberto's about to have a cube here, by the way. At this score, he's absolutely going to send this, and I think I would just drop this for Kaveh at this score. Down 14 pips, Roberto's anchored. When this blitz happens, it, very gammonish. Just chose the wrong time to fan here, I think. But I always thought when if young, there was kind of a conventional wisdom that, there's no prodigies in backgammon, right? Like young people, you need all this judgment and experience. I thought that was always hogwash. I thought if you got the kids playing, they would pick it up.
Right. Using music and chess. Why not backgammon?
Yeah.
Or really anything. Just sciences, math.
Absolutely. Interesting choice for Roberto here. He can just make his 18 and 11. Say, I've got my structure. But that, that would be passing up on a hit. The trouble with the hit is after you hit with the deuce, what is your 6? You start leaving. If you bring it down to the 10, you give Kaveh a good 6 from the bar, which is usually not something you want to do.
Not just bar 11 point kind of thing.
Yeah, that was the first play he looked at. I kind of liked that play myself, but Roberto might have judged that he was down in the match, so he wants to increase the gammons. But seemed pretty. It looked very pretty. I'll put it that way.
I like that consideration, thinking that, okay, I could get into a holding game here, and then it's probably not going to be a gammon, and I might win a point. Or I could go for the...
A lot of times people don't realize that when you make a more gammonish play, it's often mutually more gammonish. So the other guy wins some gammons too. And so that's oftentimes what keeps you from making those types of plays at a normal score is like the other guy's gammons. But it's harder for them to take advantage of that when they're at the lead. So that might be what happens there. And Roberto's deciding whether to keep hitting or not. I think I would keep hitting. That's a bad 6 from the roof. And Kaveh might consider the tempo hit. He's going to slot here. Roberto didn't roll a very good number here. He might just make the 16. It would at least get, you got to anticipate that Kaveh's probably going to make the 5. This does duplicate 1s and 3s. It's kind of nice. And Kaveh should absolutely hit, I think. I think so. Maybe not. It's one of those things where if you're going to leave yourself a pretty position, but your opponent's going to get a pretty position too, you want to make sure you're definitely prettier than them. Otherwise, just make yourselves both ugly. So if it's not great if we both get the 5 points, so I'm just in spite going to keep you from getting your 5 point, that kind of thing.
That sounds a little childish. If you can't have it, I can't,
That's
you can't have it.
In the opening, it's all, if I can't do what I want to do, then I'm going to keep you from doing what you want to do. But you absolutely got to get something out of the transaction. You can't just let your opponent have a free hand if you didn't do anything. It's almost like
Let's turn it into an interesting one.
this could be very fun. 2 high anchors for Kaveh. It's like just try improving your position up front. But unfortunately, he's got to make compromises here. The thing that you probably don't want to do, I mean, obviously making the 2 point on his head is an option, but with so much game left, you usually don't want to put checkers behind Roberto's anchor. So,
especially with only 8 in the zone, I imagine you really have no blitz going at all.
Yeah, that's one of those things that feels good in the moment, but it'll bite you at the end of the game. As the game moves forward.
Oh, big double 5s.
And Roberto has taken a small 12 pip lead in the race after this. He may be, again, the players cannot see the pip count. So he decides to disengage, which is consistent with being a little up in the race. And now Kaveh might just slot every. I like this play. Like it's going to be a while.
Okay. We're back.
We're back.
We're back. It was magazine time for us, but now we're back.
And Roberto seems like would just clear the midpoint here if he's up in this race again. I'm assuming he has all of these. Now he's set it up to block, but the midpoint, like if you're, because he'll be up 18 pips after the roll, right? So
what about it's all down from the 13, got extra checkers to play with?
Flexibility, yeah, lovely. Yeah, this is a little awkward. If you're gonna
And we're
play
in
the
the tight
same,
spot.
yeah, you got to do that.
Oh, good roll.
Gets to clear the 11.
Also a good roll. Safe roll, anyway.
Yeah, he was going to have to break something, and he decides to have a little annoying contact, but he has to, or at least he's got this set up where he has to give up his 6 point at least temporarily to do that. When you make a play like this, you kind of want to go through Roberto's numbers. Like, are there any numbers that cause Roberto immediate trouble?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's so many spares around that it almost seems like no.
It does feel like Roberto can play the next couple of turns all right, so maybe not, but all right. Now, Kaveh could have some trouble. He might have too much contact for his racing deficit, although that's
Never mind.
never mind. Once again, never mind.
Yeah, I'm changing the name of this game. It goes. There's the cube. Never mind.
I was going to say sorry, but that's already a game. So.
Someone got that one, yeah.
10 to 8.
What about aw crap? Is aw crap used? Ah, crap.
All right. Now, interesting play here. Roberto's ruled that early double fives. Oftentimes that means you don't touch the back checkers if you're Kaveh unless you move them both at the same time. 2 down was an option there. Roberto should absolutely, I think, go. Well, the thing is, Roberto can play this safe, but to do that would be like 13-6, putting a 6 checker on the 6 point. Feels like you wanna go after him a little bit here.
Yeah, if he rolls a 6 after that. Well, he did it anyway. Never mind.
That was the good 6.
Yeah. Wow, what a roll.
Good shot there. I don't think so. This is another one of those where at a normal score, you might say, gammon's floating in the air, a double. It is to be away 5 away. It's a little different. Maybe. Certainly he's getting pip count and other information like that. I think Roberto has a pretty easy take. He's not going to do it here. This could be an interesting decision if Roberto just enters with 1. I think he's coming with this ace might play. He's going to button up there, but that does get hit with double 5s. I like the 9-point builder.
Oh, you were saying.
Speaking of double 5s. But then what do you do with the other 2?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to make the ace to keep the 20-point anchor. It was not an easy choice because when you got 4 bend back, you really don't like having your ace point made, but all right, Roberto has converted to a 20-point holding game.
Tense moment. A swing roll here. No.
Kaveh will take almost anything that enters. So, and a poor shake for Roberto here. If the race were poor for Roberto, he might just make the 5 point and be done with it. He might still do that for the contact, but the race is even after the roll.
Yeah, seems a little risky.
Don't think Kaveh has anything here. Roberto's a huge favorite to enter after a hit. The racing lead won't be that much. Double fours is interesting. You can play this completely safely if you're Kaveh. And I think you should. I know it puts a checker where you don't want it, but that is a 4-point board that Roberto has on the other side of the board. And you just took a 16 pip lead in the race.
He hasn't looked at the safe play yet.
Yeah, no,
he didn't.
He did that, and now double one's a very poor shot for Roberto. Probably just going to slot the 4 point.
I like that you saw that immediately. I would have just been, all right, make 7, come 7-6. Like,
yeah, your eyes aren't trained to make ugly plays like that. You know?
Uh-oh. Boom. Wow.
Wow. So, I think Roberto just has a take there.
Yeah, that double surprised me. Just me. Yeah.
The gammon threat that you normally are relying on to leverage for that cube wasn't as, at the score, it only gets you 1 extra point.
Mm-hmm.
And Roberto certainly with the contact wins quite a few. So I'm not sure. And this is a good development for Roberto, except for that. That was not
never mind
for Roberto.
Oh,
that is a good Roberto
one more
development.
Chance.
So
no.
He can't hit.
One more? Nope, not there. Roberto looking for the magical 4 rolls in the cup, followed by the magical 11 rolls in the cup.
Roberto decides to play to get off the G, which might be the right idea.
Looks like we could have we're gonna have a Crawford game here coming up. Crawford 5 away. So we have a question for you in the chat. Mo would like, you kind of answered it before, but it says, please ask Gerry how much he thinks it matters whether people learn the game early, say before age 18. We kind of answered that, but do you have anything?
That's a good question. In terms of developing as like a great player, I think the earlier you can get the people exposed to it, the better. I think definitely introducing it before like mid-20s. Like it feels like once you're in your late 20s, I mean, you can learn things beyond that, but if you want to like be a great player, it feels like sort of the neuroplasticity goes a little bit once you hit your mid to late 20s. So anything you can get, the earlier the better, I think. But of course, if you're just having fun, it can be at any age.
Any age, it's never too late. 5-3.
Interesting spot there. Could consider coming out with the 5. I know it goes into a hail of bullets, but
we got a little back and forth going.
Yeah, Roberto pretty much has to keep hitting.
Yeah, okay. That inside hit that he did quickly that you just said he had to do, that I wouldn't have caught in on that. I probably would have started safetying, backing off, and being scared. But I'm worse.
Roberto gets an anchor, but he can't. It always kind of feels bad when you're in an exchange of hits and then all of a sudden you can't stop hitting. It's like being in a duel and you. Not that I know anything about that, but the gun clicks at the end. It's like, oh no, I'm out of ammo.
You're in a sword fight and your sword hilt breaks. Like, oh, what do I do? Do I just keep stabbing?
Another thing I'm not familiar with. So
I mean,
this is a good shot for Roberto.
Wow,
Just what he needed. And he gets the second checker up here, 21-11. So that was looking pretty bleak. All of a sudden, Roberto has quite a bit of life here. Look at this.
Massive. Could be getting the gammon. Not that gammons really matter for him right now.
Well, the thing is,
I'm sure he'll be happy to take one.
It almost need to hit to prevent anchors. Yeah, so. Now Roberto's deciding how to extricate his back checkers. And he's going to settle on the bar point. This 5 is a little awkward for Kaveh. The shot minimizing play is to go to the ace point, but
thank you, Gigi. And thank you to G. Arnold.
All right, double twos. Yeah, your hand kind of goes to making the 4 point right away, and then it's like, I'm going to find 2 other twos. And I think Kaveh's hit upon a good solution there. Oh, Roberto got a choice here. I mean, you can keep everything back there, but then all of a sudden you're moving a spare to your 2 point, and then what do you do next time? So he's probably thinking about 18-10. Does leave some shots, but not all those shots are like, okay, the 4, that's bad. But if it was just the ace, then he would have had to have broken the 8 point to, and then comes in and out. It's fine.
Big roll, 3-6. Wow.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Gotta leave a shot here. And there's 2-3. Wow, good shot. Wow.
Oh, huge turnaround there.
He's rolling like me.
And now Roberto is back against the wall.
So the first 2 are out, and then you find the other one, and Kaveh's saying no shots. Well, okay, now he's saying 4 shots.
Yeah, leaving him one. Oh, almost.
Okay, no shots right now.
3-7 hits. Nope.
All right, let's see. Roberto comes in with the deuce, and he's just going to stay back for some contact here.
Is there any logic to coming out with that 5 to threaten those 3 checkers, or is that just too much?
No, it's always something you think about. You have to look at how the numbers play a little bit. And sometimes you come out because you don't want your opponent to make a point on you inside. It's sort of a distraction. It's like, I can live with getting hit out there. I can't live with you pointing on my head. A little awkward for Kaveh. He's stripped on the 6 point. He's got 4 on the 8 point. That can lead to some problems. Roberto's got to go out with the 6. The question is, do we actually remake the anchor or not? If Gammons mattered, you unquestionably would make the anchor because you don't want to get pointed on, blitz, and all that. Gammons don't matter here. And sometimes leaving the 2 blots is fine. But it's one of those where you kind of have to look at that. Roberto's actually got a little better contact now, and this getting a little strippy. A little better. Double 5's tremendous shot. And then the shot happens again.
Shot time. Getting the opportunities.
And he's deciding to rip, saying, if you miss this time, I'm going to be pretty safe for a while. You might have to go later.
Down to the last chance, maybe. Here it is. Needs the 1.
He got the 1.
No, gets it. Hanging on by his fingernails.
Basically, with 8 checkers off for Kaveh, it's very close to even money here.
That's 8 checkers is the magic number in this position. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. It's basically even money. If Kaveh had 9 off, he'd be a pretty clear favorite. Notice that Roberto is saying, "Look, if Kaveh enters, it's bad for me anyway. So I need to rip aggressively."
He just danced with double aces.
He did.
Wow.
And there's double aces again.
And one more chance.
Takes one off.
No, he's gonna take back. Really small numbers keeps it alive. What a sequence. Oh, that will do it.
Well,
unless it was double 1s. No.
I was gonna say technically he didn't have to hit that checker, but it doesn't matter at all.
No, wow. All right, we are 1-1. Congratulations. Kaveh Farahani has tied it up. 1 for USA, 1 for Team Iran.